This is my Father's world, and to my listening ears, all nature sings and round me rings the music of the spheres. This is my Father's world. I rest me in the thought of rocks and trees, of skies and seas, His hand the wonders wrought. What a beautiful way to describe the wonders of nature. It is said that the Reverend Dr. Mugby Babcock penned the beloved poem, This is My Father's World, during one of his runs through the majestic Niagara encampment in northwest New York, where he served as a Presbyterian pastor. Surrounded by such breathtaking beauty and order, Babcock saw in creation the unmistakable hand of a loving father, one who not only formed the universe but continues to sustain it with care. Whenever I sing this hymn in church, I find myself pondering on the alternative. What if the world belonged to Satan? Or if everything unfolded by mere chance with no supreme being guiding the affairs of human life? That thought is unthinkable. It is dreadful. Without divine authorship, creation would be stripped of meaning and coherence. Humanity would be no different from the rocks and the trees and the skies and the seas that we sing about in that hymn. It would be soulless, purposeless, adrift. But thanks be to God. This is my Father's world, and I'm blessed to be part of it. Throughout the ages, Christians have recognized creation as a radiant reflection of God's glory and love for humanity. Augustine, for instance, saw nature not as a passive backdrop, but as a living witness to the Creator's majesty. He wrote, Creation is a great book. Look above you, look below you, note it, read it. God didn't write that book with ink. Instead, He set before your eyes the things that He has made. Can you ask for a louder voice than that? Why? Heaven and earth cry out to you. God made me. In every leaf, every sunrise, every crashing wave, the voice of creation echoes the truth. We are not alone, and this world is not random. It is sacred, it is loved, it is our Father's world. In contemporary testimony, we read, Our world belongs to God, not to us or earthly powers, not to demons, fate, or chance. The earth is the Lord's. This statement echoes the opening section of Psalm 24. The earth is the Lord's and everything in it, the world and all who live in it. For He, God, has founded it on the seas and established it on the waters. Before we explore the themes in the contemporary testimony further, let us pause to reflect on why affirming God's ownership of creation is so vital for Christians. This affirmation has both theological and ethical implications. Now, here are some theological implications. One, God is the creator and owner of the universe, and we are not. As supreme being, God alone is worthy of our worship and praise. Recognizing His sovereignty reminds us of our place in the created order. We are not masters, but we are worshippers. Two, God is not only creator, but also sustainer. God did not just set the universe in motion and walk away as the deists would claim. He's not a clockmaker who, after creating a masterpiece, leaves it to run unsupervised. Rather, God continues to uphold and guide creation according to His divine intentions. This ongoing care affirms the sacredness of the created world and the inherent value of all life within it. Now, there are also ethical and social implications. One, we are stewards, not owners. Scripture teaches that God, the creator and owner of the world, has entrusted us with His care. Remember the creation account in Genesis 1:27 to 28, where we read that God created mankind in His own image. In the image of God, He created them, male and female, He created them. God blessed them and said to them, Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it, rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. This is often referred to as a cultural mandate. Another socio-ethical implication is that every person bears the image of God. As faithful stewards, we are called to treat everyone with dignity and respect. This includes not only our human neighbors, but also the living and non living things in creation. Abuse, neglect, and exploitation contradict the sacred trust that we have been given by God. Affirming God's ownership of creation is both doctrinal and transformational. It shapes how we worship, live, and relate to the world around us. As the world evolves, so too must our lens for viewing biblical doctrines. In previous classes, we explored how the socio political and theological challenges of Christianity's formative years shaped the doctrines in the creeds and confessions. While much remains the same, for example, human nature, our struggle with sin, and our enduring need for grace, a great deal of our concerns have shifted. How did we survive without AI? These innovations, unimaginable to believers centuries ago, now influence how we live and think and relate to one another today. Without a doubt, contemporary Christians face realities that were largely absent from earlier generations. Issues such as racism, climate change, immigration, global hunger, refugee crisis, homosexuality, and other ethical issues that now demand our theological attention. These developments raise an important question. Do the historical creeds and confessions adequately address the biblical doctrines we need to faithfully navigate in our world today? And if not, might we need new creeds or confessions to supplement those that we already have? Two modern documents, the Contemporary Testimony and the Bella Confession, seek to address concerns that are muted or absent in the historical creeds and the three forms of unity. As you read the Contemporary Testimony this week, reflect on the following questions. What theological and ethical gaps is the document attempting to fill? How does a contemporary testimony engage the challenges of our time while remaining rooted in Scripture? What pressing issues, in addition to racism, climate change, immigration, and global conflicts that we have already mentioned, are missing from the historical creeds and might warrant new statement of faith? Should Christians avoid making definitive statements on some social issues such as abortion and homosexuality because of their potentially divisive nature? Or are we called to speak into every cultural moment, even when it's uncomfortable or controversial? Finally, consider the question of application. While some pastors and church leaders incorporate readings from the contemporary testimony into worship and teaching, others remain unsure of how to use these materials effectively. As you study the document this week, suggest some practical ways a reformed pastor or an educator might integrate the themes in the contemporary testimonies into their church ministry context.